Good morning, welcome along everybody. Today is Thursday, the 1st of October 2020. It's International Day of the Older Person today, and this is our day full of hourly movement snacks. So every hour on the hour from now through till 4 o'clock this afternoon, we will have a movement snack for you. And the idea is to get as many people involved as possible. Good morning to Bex. If you're on catch up and this isn't the one that you want, then firstly let's deal with that. Then go find the one that you do want on Facebook. They're all on our Facebook group. All you've got to do is go into the group, find the photos button at the top. If you click on that, all of the photos, all of the videos are in date order there, so you can find the one that you want. Watch that, and then I'll see you on the catch up a little bit later on. All I ask you to do is just drop us a little comment. Let us know you've been in. Let us know you've passed through. We've been passing ships in the night. It's always good to know that you've caught up as well, and we love hearing from you. So do me a favour and do that for us. Okay, I'm going to leave you there if you're on catch up, and I'm going to zip across to our Alive O's, as Bex would say. Welcome. Good morning. Say hi as you come on board. So as you're coming in, just drop us a little comment to say hello. Let us know that you're here. Excuse me a second. Remnants of a cough, but it's nothing to worry about. Say hi. Let me know you're here so we can say hello to you as well and share our day together. Start our day together in a nice way. Good morning, Jane, on this super special day. Thank you. Sheila, good morning. Looks like you're the first in for the collective today. Here we go indeed. A cloudy day here, but we are full of rays of sunshine here in our little group. So, who else have we got coming on board? I can see we've got 13 people there. Just say hello to me. Let me know that you're here. Clive, good morning to you. And good morning to Dawn. A big hello to you. Morning, Rita. Good to have you in. Just out of bed. Sounds good. Sounds good. That's where I should be. No, I'm just out of bed a while ago, but I'm here now with you. Good morning, Jane. Good to have you with us in from Edinburgh as well. So say hello as you come on board. This is our super day, our 1st of October. Good morning, Dave, from Angela, who's cloudy in Wilmslow, and Diana is in from Somerset. Looking forward to today. Kaya, good morning. Promoting in Plymouth. Thank you very much for that. I was going to say a name I didn't recognise straight off. Good to have you with us. Carol, good morning to you, and hello to the fellow snackers. So thank you, Dave, Bex and Kelsey, for giving me the motivation. It is our pleasure. We love spending this time with you every day. And it's been, personally, and I'm sure it's the same for Kelsey and Bex, we've got a lot out of it as well. So it's been really good for us. Good morning, Adele in from Cambridge. How's things with you? Hope everything is good. We've got Gillian in as well, and George is in with a big speech today. Good morning, Dave and everyone. Epic effort from the three of you today. Well done. Unfortunately, I'll only manage the 8 a.m. live. I'm then off to photograph a golf match. Hopefully I can catch up. I'm sure you can catch up, George. That's the beauty of catch up. It's there for you. You can go find it, and you can have a look at it later on. That's what catch up is all about, isn't it? Good morning, Sandra. Good to have you with us. Carol, the other part of the collective, is in. And you're wearing your Make Movement Your Mission t-shirt today, all day. Fantastic. That is great today. Francis in from Bristol. Good to have you with us. Vivian, good morning to you. And sunny where you are today. Sandra, good morning to you in from Scotland. Bob, I've been in training for years for today. Good to have you with us, Bob. Don't stop me coughing. Jane, good morning to you. Joining us on 4G as your broadband is being changed. You've had some problems with your broadband, so fingers crossed everything is good for you today. And Kelsey's in as well, so let's give Kelsey a little wave. Good morning, Kelsey. Good to have you with us. Trevor is in. Maya is in. Is in. Diana, good morning to you. Going to gorge yourself today. Good day. Maddie, good morning to you. Sorry, you're starting to be coughing now. Maddie, good morning to you. And Margaret, good morning to you as well. Helen, hello. Welcome aboard. Sue is in, and We're not going to stop you, Bob. We're not going to stop you. I promise we're not. Okay, let's get on with some other stuff. Wendy, in from Shrewsbury. Good to see you. I've not seen you for a few days. Good to see you. Okay, so let's get ourselves ready to go. Just one quick hello before we do that. Gillian, good morning to you. Looking forward to this special day. We're looking forward to it as well. Debbie, just a last quick morning to you as well. Now, if you want to get rid of the comments off the bottom of the screen, then please feel free to do so. Swipe them to the right and they will be gone. And then you get the full screen for you. Okay? Let's go with our 3, 2, 1 then. Good morning, everybody. My name is Dave Montgomery from Later Life Training. Welcome to this special day of movement snacking. On the hour, every hour, we will have movement snacks today between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. The aim being for us to move just a few more minutes each hour throughout the day. There's going to be options there as well, so anyone and everyone can get involved, and you can boost those moving parts that we've got on this special day, this International Day of the Older Person. So we've got a couple of little boosts in there to start off with. So if you only do 1 or 2 of those boosts, you're going to add additional movement minutes into your day as we go through the day. And this has been our aim from Later Life Training throughout, is to get additional movement minutes into your day throughout the day, over and above everything you're already doing. So, should we get ourselves started with our first mini movement? So we've got mini movement boosts throughout the day. We've got a mini movement boost for our active sitting and standing this morning, our circulation booster, and then we're going to go on to our normal mobilization. And then throughout the day, you will have those mini movement boosts throughout the day with some little extras, some little specials dropped in there as well. Should we get going? Go on then. So, the first thing we're going to do is our active seated or active standing. So, from a seated position, the first thing we're going to do, from our resting position at the back of the chair, let's sit tall. So let's come away from the back of the chair, lift through the body and lift and lengthen through here. So imagine a balloon between your ribs and hips. Give it a little extra couple of puffs of air and lift your ribs a little bit higher. Open the shoulders, lift them back and press them down so we've opened the rib cage. Now we've got more space. We're utilising our stability muscles here. We're actively sitting in this position, and it's part of our postural position. Hold it there for a few moments, and then if you want to, take a rest back, and then we can bring it back in again, lifting and just lengthening through our body. We're switching the muscles on around here. Now, if we want to take it to a standing, so if standing is on your radar, have you fixed external support available to you? I'm just going to shift this chair back a little bit. The first thing we're going to do is hip walk into the front third of the chair. From here, bring the feet back slightly so the heels are just behind your knees. We've sat tall still, we've still got this active sitting position. We're lengthening a little way from our hips, so we've just got a little bit of a lean forward, and then we power up through our legs, through our heels, and a little bit of foot movement there, just to ensure that we have no dizziness. Utilising our external support, again, lift from those ribs, lift the ribs from the hips, shoulders up, back, and down. And then, when you're ready, feel the chair behind you, lower with control into that chair, and rest. Now again, same with our seated position. If you want to try that again, so the active sitting position to start off with, and then a hip walk into the front third of the chair, heels on the floor, little hinge from the hip, power through, a little movement of the feet, your external support available to you. And then when you're ready, feel the chair behind you, lower with control. Now, if we can just do that a few times, we're already adding additional movement minutes into our day. So about 2 minutes of additional movement there to start off with. If you want to leave it there, then that's great. Alternatively, let's move on and let's work towards our circulation booster, our mini circulation booster. So from here, let's start with the arm. We're going to drive the elbow backwards. We're utilising our shoulder to mobilise through here. So the elbow is staying quite close into the body, and we're utilising the shoulder as the movement. Switching to the other side, so giving that arm a bit of a rest. starting with the upper body, and then we'll move down into our lower body. So coming down into our lower body, giving the arms a rest. We have a heel raise here, just lifting the heel off the floor, peeling the heel off and coming up onto the ball of the foot and the toes. And then if we want to, we can take that a little bit higher by just lifting the foot a little way off the floor. The toes are the last part of the foot to come off and the first part of the foot to go back down onto the floor. So we're boosting our circulation here. We're getting the blood pumping around the body. We're getting us breathing a little bit harder. Now, if you feel ready and you want to, you can put both arms in. Alternatively, you can just stay with your legs or you can just stay with your arms. In our standing position, then we've got our external support. We've got our movement here with the arm. We can go with the foot pedal. We can bring it into that march. If we feel steady and stable, we can utilize both arms, or we can use one arm, take a pause, change, so you've got support on the other side, and bring the other arm back in. This circulation booster is all about getting the body moving, so switching the body on, getting it ready for the day. So if you've been sat down for a while, great thing to do. And we could do this as many times as we want to through the day. We should just feel as though we're having to breathe a little bit harder. We should feel the heart rate go up a little bit. We may start to feel a little bit warmer. What we're doing is boosting the circulation around the body, getting the blood and getting the oxygen around to where we want it to. Let's take a pause there, and if you want to leave it at that point, then hip walk back into the chair and sit yourself back. There's our circulation booster, and it's done exactly what it says on the tin. It's just boosted our circulation. So we should feel as though we want to take a deep breath or a couple of deep breaths. We shouldn't feel totally out of breath. From there, if you want to stay with us, let's move on and let's go into our mobilization. So in our chair, we're going to come into the front third of the chair. So that hip walk into the front third of the chair, feet flat on the floor. We're going to start with our upper body. And the movement here, I'm going to come a little bit closer so you can see. Shoulders lift towards the ears and then we press them down. So we lift and we press. Now, really focus on this movement and feel those shoulders moving. So actively lifting and then actively pressing down rather than just a shrug of those shoulders. And you may find that you've got more movement on one side than the other, which is perfectly normal. So you may want to just focus into that one side for a couple of extra. Around 3, 4 or 5 of these is what you're looking for. We're not looking for huge amounts of them. And then we take a pause there. Now in standing, that would be exactly the same. Have your support available. If you need to utilize your support, do one side, change to the other side, and then do that side as well. In our seated position then, we're then going to move into our shoulder rolls. So here, we bring the shoulder forward, lift it up towards our ears, rotate back and down. Yeah, can you see that movement? So let me come in a little bit closer. I'll come and kneel on the floor for you so you can see. This motion here, look, we're bringing it forward, up, back, and pressing down. So we come forward, we brush the shoulder past our ears, bringing the shoulder blades together at the back, and then pressing down as if you're going to put those shoulder blades into your back pockets. And again, if you feel you have more mobility on one side than the other, then have a little pause at the end and focus onto that one side for a few more. It's a slow, controlled movement. So not just the rotation. As you do it, feel that shoulder moving. Feel the joint in all its positions as you mobilize through. And we use our shoulders continually throughout the day. We're forever moving and utilizing our shoulders. If we reach for something, even picking a magazine up, turning the page, your shoulder is involved in that. So there's lots of activities where we will utilize our shoulder. Okay, moving on from there, let's go to our head. Now, this can challenge our balance because we're going to move the head from side to side. So, eye line is going to stay level. I turn to the side, to the center, pause, and then to the other side. So we're aiming to take the chin over towards the shoulder, but keep the eye line level. Now, if you wanted to do this in standing, then have some support available because sometimes it can make you feel a little bit disorientated. Just having something to touch will enable your body to know where it is in relation to everything else. and regain its stability. Also, a wider stance. So our heels are outside our hips, so we've got a big base of support to work from, or a bigger base of support to work from. The movement goes to the side. This little pause in the centre is really important. Our vestibular system in our ears, as we're turning, there's some movement within there. So this little pause allows it to settle itself down for you to feel balanced before we move on. And again, throughout the day, we're forever turning our head. If we're crossing a road, we're looking. If we, even if we're coming out through a door, we may look to the side to make sure no one else is coming. If we're out driving, then you're looking as you come to T-junctions to make sure the road is clear. So lots of times when we utilise that, regardless of whether we're out walking or driving, if we're just around the house, if we're looking for something, we're going to turn the head at the same time as turning other parts of our body. 3, 4 or 5 of those each side will be enough for you, and then take a pause. Let's move into the last of our top trio. So we're going to lengthen through the back of our neck here. So fingers onto our chin, fix the gaze, and we press back, stacking the head back onto the spine. Now we can either press with our fingers or keep the fingers where they are and lengthen there. Can you see? And with this one, we're looking to create that double chin, or as we've started to call it, the lockdown biscuit tin chin. Lockdown biscuit tin chin. That's a tongue twister in itself. But can you see how we're lengthening through the back of the neck? We're restacking. Now the head is one of the heaviest parts of the body. So naturally through the day, we start to come forward like this. That shoulder movement backwards that we did earlier on starts to enable this, but lifting that head back every now and again is going to restack it and realign everything. Once you've done your 3, 4 or 5, take a pause there, and then let's go back into a circulation booster. In our seated position, we've got this move here again, and the march or the lift, we've got the arms. We can even put a little toe tap in there if you want to. So something so you've got some movement within the body again. Just boosting the circulation a little bit more before we move on to our second trio. Our second trio is our trunk. And we're going to start with a side bend. So in our seated position, sitting tall, we've got that active seated position. We can take the hand down the chair leg, pause in the centre, down the other way. Now, try and keep the weight fairly even across your buttocks. So you're not lifting it off as you come down. You don't want to go so far. You want to focus the movement into here rather than lifting. So try and keep the weight even within your buttocks as you sat down, and you're lengthening through the side of your body. In standing, if you're utilising your support, then side bend goes in towards the support. Back to the centre and pause, and then go again. If you're doing it without support, then a wider stance again, so we've got that big base of support to work from. We run the hand down towards our knee and back up. The important thing with this is it's a straight down, straight up movement. So here's your move, look. Straight down, straight up. We're not allowing the body to come forward or backwards. We're just focusing into this part of our body here, mobilising through our trunk. Picking things up, we've got that bending movement there. With our flexibility, if we're reaching to put our socks on, washing off the floor, there's movement within here, and our trunk plays a great part in our overall stability. It's forever making changes throughout the day to make sure that we keep steady and stable, working on our centre of gravity. Once you've done your 3, 4 or 5 of those, take a pause. Now again, in our seated position to start off with, we're going to rotate, so we've got a trunk rotation. Sitting tall, weight even across your buttocks, and what you're going to do is turn to the side, back into the centre with a little pause there, and then across to the other side. Now again, we don't want the hips to move. We want to focus it into our trunk. So if you feel that the weight in your bottom is changing, don't take it as far. Yeah? Focus on the quality of the move rather than the range of it to start off with. So get that move there so you can feel the trunk being isolated. In our standing position, then without support, again, we want the trunk to be isolated. So there's our movement. We don't want the hips moving, so we don't want this. And what you might want to do is you've got something you can anchor against behind with some space above you. There, with that leaning against that, I can feel if my buttocks start to lift from that space, then I can feel that my hips are moving. The other thing to be careful of is that we don't twist the shoulders. So elbows, whatever you're doing with them, your hands are by the side, across here, try and keep the elbows in line with the side of the body so the shoulders don't move. It's all through this trunk area. Once you've done your 3, 4 or 5 of those on each side, take a little pause and let's go into our back extension. Now in our seated position, we want to keep the pelvis still this time. So sat down, we're sitting tall, we bring the back backwards and up, so we extend through the back. Again, like our chin tuck, the gaze stays level, so we're going to get that biscuit tin chin again. So coming back and forward. In our standing position with our support available to the side, pelvis staying still, back and forward. Yep. And we're trying to make sure that we don't tip the hips forward or tip the hips back. So again, it might be that you want to anchor against something, so you've got that reference point that as you come back, if you feel this movement within your bottom, you know that that pelvis is tipping and we're not really focusing into our back. So it may be that the best thing for you to do is come into a seated. So feel the chair behind you, lower down with control, hip walk into the front third, set yourself up there, and then give that a shot from there. See how that feels. Once you've done your 3, 4 or 5 of those, take a little pause and let's go for another circulation booster, our arms or our legs, whichever you choose. Yeah, so it can be arms only, legs only, remember, or both, whichever you feel comfortable with. Just to give the circulation a little boost again, ready for our final trio, our ankle, feet and toes. Now, in our seated position, first thing we can do, the first option to us is to bring the feet back a little bit, lift and put the toe on the floor, and then lift and put the heel in the same place. Not a great range of area or space there for you to be able to do that fully. So see how it feels, okay? You may prefer to come back into your chair, so hip walk into the back of the chair, extend the leg out a little bit, and then point the toes away, and then flex them in towards you. So point the toe away and flex it in towards you. Okay, so that's our option in seated. In standing, with our support, the leg closest to the support is the one that is going to stay still. The other leg is the moving leg. Here, toe, heel. So we're lifting to put the toe in the place. Now the first couple you might want to look to make sure you got it, but then try and look ahead. Now whichever you're doing, if you can, scrunch your toes for me as you point away. And then as you come back in, open them up, okay? So as we take our foot away, look, we're scrunching those toes, and then as we bring the foot back in, we open the toes. So we're working not only the ankle, but we're working the whole thing, the ankle, the feet, and the toes. Hence, it being a trio. Once you've done 3, 4 or 5 on one side, then place the foot back down, or change to the other side with as many steps as you need, and away you go again. Now, if you're in your seated, don't bring the leg too high. Keep it down so that you're focusing into your ankle joint, your feet and your toes. You're not working strength-wise into your leg. If you start to feel here's working or here is working, then you bring the leg a little bit lower. Now, ankle, feet and toes play an enormous part in our balance. We're forever making adjustments throughout the day. As we're walking, the ankles are moving from side to side. They're having to make adjustments as we change direction. So if we move to one side, the ankle is involved in that. And if we just have a look at this walking motion, look, there's your ankle, feet, toe movement. Can you see? So as I step forward, heel goes down, and then the back foot, look, peels up onto the toes and back down. So if we were to take that into a full movement, there's your, exaggerated, but there is your ankle, feet and toes. That does us for first thing in the morning. That is our first movement snack on this mega movement day, celebrating International Day of the Older Person. With you on the hour, every hour between now and 4 o'clock this afternoon. And as always, you've got seated and you've got standing options. There's plenty available for you. One last thing left for me to do. Normally we say keep movement on your radar and keep mobilising throughout the day. But if you're going to join us for every hour, you're going to be doing that anyway. There's one last thing for me to do. That's to take our baton and for me to pass it on. So I'm going to take the baton here. Look, here is our baton, our trusted baton that we have within Later Life Training. And we're going to pass this on now to Bex. So Bex, over to you. See you later, folks. I'll be back at 12 o'clock. Bye.